As we look at those ministries, we realize that there are areas that we can improve. And there are two specific areas that we look into. One is communication. We meet with you today, but we believe we can have a comprehensive plan to communicate with you more often and more directly. And we will be working on that next year, and we'll look into that very soon. The facility has also been an issue, and we'll discuss that. But to give you an idea, as far as the facility cleaning, you have not been happy with what you see in the building. I have not, and we did not want to wait until next year. We have allocated some extra resources to deal with this issue. We have replaced the company that provided us with the service in the past, and I'm always looking for feedback, especially from our teachers. And I'll read you a letter, an email I got from one of our teachers. Hi Nagy, well, I'm so impressed and pleased with the new people you have hired. Every morning when I open my office door and see the carpet clean, no dust floating around, and everything orderly and clean, I am overjoyed. They do a wonderful job, and I don't have to ask for the carpet to be vacuumed, cleaned, as I used to. Please thank them for me, and thank you also for finding them. Have a wonderful day. This is a communication that we look to hear for every single day. As we look into the future, there are certain areas that we're going to be focusing on in the next year. One, as we look at facility, there are areas that are funded by the capital campaign Building the Future of Hope. One of them would be expansion of our library. We have a great design. We have a great team working on that. We sent out a proposal and we received 3 bids. They all being reviewed currently by the facility committee. We hope to make a decision in the very near future, maybe by the end of April. We'll have a commitment to who is going to be awarded a contract to work on our facility. The second piece in the facility is going to be gym, all-purpose gym. Again, we have a leadership that have been appointed to this project. We have a representative from the various clusters that are going to be working with that leadership. And again, we hope that we complete this process by the summer. The third area is a comprehensive plan for our facility. And those are the 3 areas and facilities that we're going to be focusing on in the next year. Then as we look at other areas, we will be looking into technology. And there are 3, again, basic components in technology that we're going to be looking into. One is upgrading our software and hardware to meet our needs. Number 2 is going to be focusing on upgrading necessary policies and guidelines, and finally completing the integration of our network backbone, the security system, and the library, the studio, broadcasting project. So these are the areas that we're going to be working on in the next year, and we hope we'll be able to give you more updates and more communication more often.
is in the top 5 of the Archdiocesan schools, and there are 26 of them, in size. As you can see from the numbers, the size of our student body is 644, and the appropriate staff to manage those students and to provide them with the academic programs that they need. We have been tasked to provide you with data on volunteer hours. We calculate those hours at over 1 million. Also, our 2010 budget was approximately $3 million in expenses this year, and that's been pretty consistent from year to year, with one exception. This year, our theme has been consciously Catholic. Choose it, do it, and do it well. We have over 7,500 hours for stewardship. Our children have so far donated up to $1,000 in gifts for God that they earn by doing small chores at home, and then they freely bring that money in. During our Catholic Schools Week, we had a penny board, and the children actually raised $4,350, which was donated to Nativity Academy, and they came to our last school liturgy and were presented with a check. We have sacramental programs. In grade 2, we have reconciliation and First Communion. In grade 4, reconciliation. That is because our 4th graders were receiving reconciliation, and the main focus for reconciliation is moving back to 2nd grade. And then in grade 8, we have confirmation. In 2010, we were very excited, as Tim mentioned, that our funding was increased. We were able to increase our foreign language classes in grades 4 through 8. Grade 4 now has it 2 times a week, and grade 5 through 8 they have it 3 times a week. We hired a science resources assistant, again, to assist the science teachers to provide weekly science labs and to get the grade 7 science fair going, and we had a very successful fair in January. We had 4 students move on to the Louisville Regional Science Fair, and as of this afternoon, 3 of the 4 students have been accepted to participate. We restored our full-time teacher assistants in grades K and 1. We completed equipping all of the classes with the smart boards and multimedia projectors. And we have now embedded professional development in technology for teachers right in the classroom to work with the teachers and the students. And we have also initiated a school counseling intern through the Archdiocese. And now I'm going to turn it over to our school board chair to talk about our opportunities.
Hello, I'm Jolene Boswell, the school board chair, and it's been a pleasure doing that, although it was a significant amount of hours than I ever dreamed possible. So for the next person that steps up, be prepared. Okay, for our 2011 opportunities, we are going to be replacing our principal. Thank Elaine for her report. She's going to be a great one. We're very, very excited. So we have some phenomenal candidates. We're all very excited, and our project is to have a hire date of May 1st. It may occur prior to that, but we'll definitely keep you posted. And of course, as Elaine mentioned already, we're doing a renewed focus on a Catholic education. We're beginning a self-study. Next year, the diocese is new accreditation, where we've been doing this different accreditation for many, many years. This next year, we'll begin a self-study. It's where we kind of get introspective and look at some of the things we do well and not so well, and they will guide us on that, and we will eventually be accredited through that facility. We also are establishing a blue ribbon committee. We are definitely going to work very hard on that. We have a lot of incredibly bright kids, some great teachers, and a lot of really good motivational people working for that. So if you all help us with that, we will certainly achieve that in the very near future. Okay, so some of the really neat things, I'm sure you've all heard about the implementation of the junior kindergarten. It came about because we have a lot of children who are age appropriate to come into kindergarten but not developmentally ready. And so we decided to start a junior kindergarten program. We have Miss Welch, that's one of the kindergarten teachers that'll be heading that up. She is phenomenal with young children. We're going to take up to 18 to 22 kids, and those kids will just kind of go into the kindergarten for the next year. So they'll get more familiar, but will be similar to the same tuition scale that we go through now. Susan Reuter is going to be stepping down. We're going to miss her terribly, but we thank her so much for all the years of service, and we're going to try to replace her, which we all know is virtually impossible. However, we will try and find a full-time paid position to provide our kids with that stewardship opportunity. A furniture refresh program, which basically just means that we go throughout all of the classrooms and look at the desks and all of the furniture that the kids use, computer labs, everything, to see what needs to be replaced and keep that in top shape. And then lastly, to implement accelerated reader. This will be done through our library, and it's a specific program that is updated yearly and really will enhance the ability of our kids to excel in reading. All right, some of the really neat things are facility improvement. You all heard about the library expansion. Well, what does that mean? Right now we house about half the books that we need for the students that are in our school. So we are going to expand the library. It's just going to go straight back into the lobby. We're going to have a significant amount more of book space. It's going to be a little more techno-savvy. We're going to have a media room where the kids can actually do face-to-face productions on the smart board, kind of like a news release in the morning. And so that'll be a lot of fun. And there'll be a lot of different things that they can do in that media center. School front office, one of our biggest things you keep hearing that we want to make our community more welcoming, and we're going to work really hard to start that out in the very first area that people come into. So we're going to kind of give a facelift to the front, and we're going to bring some people forward so you feel more welcome instead of reaching over a desk and trying to get some help. So we look for that in the near future. The PTO, which is basically all of you, selling magazines and doing all of those things, we're going to use some of that money to renovate the first teacher's lounge on the left down this hall. It's going to be a lot nicer, a lot more cabinets. It's going to have a better seating for the teachers as well. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions? Nope, you have to say, never mind. And so I now have the